All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com. And today is Friday, ladies and gentlemen, the 6th of March, 2026. Look, I wanted to pick up on oil because it's a hot topic right now. Why not? And to be honest, I mean, the movements which we're seeing, these are crazy right now. Honestly, we haven't seen such moves for a while now. Look, everything slowly, but let's look at the risk disclaimer, okay, before we go any further. So yeah, the content we produce does not constitute an investment advice or investment recommendation and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. So yeah, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. So yeah, I wanted to basically quickly pick up on the energy sector and on all the craziness that we're seeing right now in there. Also, before we go any further, just a quick mentioning of our Markets.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm recording this one just after the NFPs came out, and if you're not aware, honestly, minus 92K. This is something that I was talking about in my morning markets talk webinar. I said that look, I'm kind of hoping to see a higher number. Well, hoping, the word hoping probably is the wrong one here, but I'm expecting to see slightly higher number than the 4.3 because kind of logical. Because honestly, you only see layoffs in the headlines everywhere. So it would be weird that if the number actually would drop lower. But the non-farm payroll. Look, I was saying today that this way that I was kind of expecting maybe to see the number somewhere in between the 59K and the 130 because it was this number got revised to 126. But I said that if we do see a negative, or let's say a number below everything here, well, then there is a little bit of a worry sign, to be honest, because this could really get out of hand. And honestly, we saw the futures right now; those get plunged once the number came out. Yes, I'm recording this just kind of before the U.S. opening bell. However, it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of a reaction we're going to get today in the stock market because look, it's Friday. It's the market. The market is a little bit on the weaker side. Everybody's worried. We're going into the weekend. We're going into the weekend in terms of normally some sort of like crazy attacks normally happen on a weekend. We saw this like last weekend, on Saturday. Actually, I warned you the week before that. I said, look, wait for the weekend because I mean, normally an attack happens on a Saturday, then on Sunday they do some damage control saying like, oh, they're trying to justify things. Don't worry, the market, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. And then, we see initial reaction, on Monday, and it's kind of okayish. But now, honestly, like going in closer to the end of the week, look at this move. Is this normal? No, this is not normal. Of course, the market is worried because there are issues with the Strait of Hormuz. However, look, I talked about this morning and also in this week in my Markets Talk webinar. We were still hanging around here on Wednesday, and I said, look, this 77 and a half zone has been a good area of resistance. We're stalling there, but I said that if we break this one, my next target is the 84 and a half. This morning, because we were already like pushing higher here towards this 84 and a half, I said, look, it will be quite interesting to see if we can actually reach the 87.60, and that's the highest point of 2024, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Look, this is like I said, this is just spectacular. And honestly, are we going to reach this 87.6? Judging from the movement just today, it's not a problem. We were at $80 today at one point. Now we're like at 86.3. So we're getting closer to that 87 to the highest point of 2024. And I think this is, by the way, I'm talking about WTI oil, if you haven't noticed, but WTI oil is getting here 87 and a half, 87.6. I think this is quite doable, to be honest. Just judging from where we are right now in the world and like what's happening in it. Yeah, honestly, it's gonna be a huge show right now, and we're gonna see further action to the upside. And everybody's now talking about, of course, this $100. Now, my only problem with this, when everybody starts talking about it, then there's really, are we going to go there? Because look at gold, right? I mean, everybody was talking about like 6,000, right? I mean, 7,000. Did we go there? Not yet, but eventually maybe we'll go at some point in our lives. However, I think that right now what we're going to be looking at, a little bit of a correction moment in gold. But yeah, look, we're talking about oil right now. So what I'm aiming here for, at least for today, is the 87.6 territory here, the highest point of 2024. Regarding Brent oil, yep, 18, almost $90. We haven't tested the $90 yet, came very close. But to be honest, 92.14, that's what I'm looking at. And that's also the highest point of 2024. I think it's quite doable. Let's see if we can reach that one. What I'm watching here as well is this little gap here. This is the difference between the little gap, difference between Brent and WTI oil. So basically, WTI oil right now is really picking up the pace. It's getting closer to Brent oil price. I mean, very, very interesting here developments. However, again, at some point this will have to, reverse back up. I think it will have to stabilize, because if we look at, historic numbers here, it kind of tends to be somewhere around 4 in a way. So this is the kind of the moving average here, and this is the 200-day moving average here on the monthly chart. So around 4, that's, I think, that the $4 difference tends to be the case. However, we have seen the opposite happening. And keep your eyes on this. For example, if we do drop all the way to 1, now this is going to be very interesting to watch. Honestly, it's at the moment, yeah, it's just everything is getting crazy. Everything is getting out of hand. I think the market is preparing for the weekend, because I think that something big could happen during the weekend again. With some sort of like escalation, where, I don't know, something will get bombed, or some sort of Navy ship will gets bombed or something like that. I don't know. Honestly, like we can, I think of different scenarios, and probably all of them are possible nowadays. Look, long story short, for now, like I said, keep your eyes on this. I mean, this is just falling, and the question is, I mean, is it because it's WTI oil is getting stronger, if not stronger, but like getting more expensive faster than Brent oil? True, judging from the numbers, yes, looks like that. By the way, 87.4. Look, we're actually not far from the 87 as we speak here. Not far from the 87.60. Let's see if we can reach that. That's the highest point of 2024, ladies and gentlemen. So Brent oil is a little bit on the modest side, however, is trying to hit that $90 mark. Let's see as we speak here. Look at this. I'll probably give it a few more moments here, and we'll end up hitting the $90 mark. Look at this. We're very close. 89.95, 96 now, 99, ladies and gentlemen. We did hit, there we go. We hit, as I was speaking to you right now, we hit the $90 mark. Wow. Honestly, this is just insane what we're seeing today. And to be honest, it's like I keep on saying, Fridays are for that. It's like one-way traffic Fridays, I sometimes call them. Well, that is the case. I think this is what we're going to be seeing. So be careful with those shorts. I know it's very tempting. Be careful with those shorts. Honestly, I follow one rule. If you think that it stopped going, it will go a little bit more. So if you think that it's like, okay, now this is like unlogical and everything like that. So on Fridays like these, you might see a lot of like this one-way traffic thing. And so just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, look, I hope you found it useful. It was just like a little quick update to see what's happening. Oh, by the way, forgot to natural gas here. Natural gas is also exploding nicely to the upside. Not as strongly as the other ones, but certainly looks quite positive, to be honest. So yeah, I think that there is more room for some upside here. Let's see if we can reach that 3.26 territory. At least this is what I'm targeting for now. Ladies and gentlemen, and now this is a wrap. And now it's a wrap. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching, listening. I hope you found it useful. So yes, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. And well, don't forget to subscribe for another quick little top news update. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.